Well, students, in the last video I talked about one of the topics in the outline, that is geography, right? And I want to talk about a couple of more topics, yeah, just to again give you lots of ideas. You can talk about different topics, but then try to connect to travel and culture, okay? So about India, you could also know something about India through this. It's not a presentation, I'm just talking about presentations and also providing you some information on my country, okay? So this is what you have to do, right? You have to choose a country and then talk about that country and try to have some topics. There you can talk about many topics, but then I want you to choose 3 or 4 most important topics, okay? All right, so India, yeah. In India, religion, I would say, is part of the culture. So I want to say a few words about the culture aspects, okay? Because you also have to include culture aspect of the country that you are going to talk about. But then you don't have to talk about religion, yeah. You don't have to talk about politics, yeah. But then if religion is part of the culture, then you have to mention about the religion, because you need to respect the religion. When you travel to the country, you need to respect the culture. You need to have an understanding of what the people in that country think of religion, or how they value religion, okay? There are certain topics you can avoid, just like politics. I think politics is one topic that you should avoid, but I think religion is accepted when it comes to having a presentation, as it is part of the culture, okay? So in India, religion plays a huge role. So let me say a few words about the religion in India in this video, okay? All right, so here we go. So this is the PPT slide, right? So this is how a PPT slide should look. Like when you prepare PPT slides, I mentioned this one, I say it again because students have the habit of having many pictures. I have seen hundreds of presentations, and I would suggest them, I would ask them, see, some of the pictures are distracting, and you show a picture but then you don't talk about the picture. So do not show a picture if you don't talk about it, okay? And do not show words if you don't use or mention those words in your presentation, okay? So this is again an example, yeah. As you can see, the couple of pictures, these are the statues in Indian temples. Indian temples, there are hundreds of temples in India, or thousands of temples in India. North has different kind of architecture. The south has different architecture, temple architecture, and it's quite interesting to know the differences, and also what are there in the temple. Yeah, just like this. See, look at this picture, the second picture. This is the entrance of the temple. This is how it looks. You can also compare like Taiwan temples and Indian temples, or Taiwan temple with the European churches. Yes. So this is the entrance, and you enter, and you would have a different sites inside the temple. There are again many gods inside the temple. There's one main god, and then there are, let's say, 10 to 20 gods in a temple, okay? So the main god and statues of the gods, so you can see some statues here, right? And most of the temples, these temples are from the south, the southern part of India, and most of the statues, right? The statues are made or carved out of rocks, like stone statues, right? They spent a lot of time in carving those shapes, the figures, and again, these are the statues of different gods, and these statues tell a story, tell a particular story of a god, or a story of the temple, yes. And there are also inscriptions on the temple walls, and those inscriptions tell the story of the temple, like who built the temple, what kind of activities they had in the temple during their time. So these are again some information on the temple. And then religion, how religion is important for Indian people. There are almost, the Indians, though they worship different gods, but they all come under one religion. That religion is called Hinduism. I should have also mentioned that term Hinduism, because that's very specific, a specific word, a term, right? Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism in Taiwan. Yeah. And the sculpture, so if I want to say something about the sculpture, you say something about the sculpture. The stories, I did mention about the temple stories, or some temples have paintings, and the paintings also talk about the activities that happened in the temple, who built the temple, and just to show the art and the culture. The temples represent the art and culture during that time. So I'm just providing, again, a lot of information on the religion and the temples. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to organize and talk about that particular topic for just 1 or maximum 2 minutes. And some more information on temples. See, look at this slide. Worshipping animals. Yeah, this is again kind of different from other religion. Yeah, I wonder, people in Taiwan, do you worship animals? Yeah. Like your religion asks you to worship animals? I'm not sure. Yeah. So again, talk about this culture. Like people have asked me about cows in India. Okay, so I could provide you again some information on why we respect cows, or why Indians respect cows, and not many Indians eat beef here. We are not supposed to eat beef. I mean, it's just 80% of the Indians, I would say, but still there are a lot of Indians, they eat beef. Yeah, but most of the Indians are vegetarians, and we respect animals. Yeah. If you see some cows on the roads in India, it means we respect them. So because that's their place, it's not your place. That kind of idea, philosophy. Yeah. I'm not going to go deep into it. I'm just, again, this is all just an example, right? We worship cows, elephants, monkeys, and rats, snakes, birds. Yes. So you can also see people are worshiping cows. There's a picture there, right? And then there's a monkey god. Monkey god is for strength. Yeah. So if you want to build your body, or if you want to be strong, yeah, you can, worship this god and ask this god to take care of your health, and ask this god to make yourself strong. And then elephant god. This elephant god is known for like studies. Yeah. So if you want to, like, before you take an exam, you worship this god. The god can help you to get good scores. I mean, to say it in a simple way. Yeah. All right. So this is again a topic that you could talk about, but then don't talk for more than 1 or 2 minutes. Though I spent a lot of time, because this is an example presentation. Yeah. So I thought, okay, let me spend a few minutes on this. Okay. So I hope you understand. All right. Okay. So thank you. I'll see you in the next video.